Riders, glad to have you back on the channel. You've read the title. Today we're taking a deep dive into a very popular category of modular helmets, the flip over helmet. There's a couple of good flip over helmets out there right now, and we'll be answering a simple yet important question: which one of them is the best flip over helmet of 2025? So, the premise of this video is simple. Cut through any and all marketing language and personal opinions and simply present the facts as they are. Objective testing data is the core of this video and also the best type of information to base your purchase decision on. And before we start, yes, we're an online shop and we're transparent about it. Know that our channel simply aims to inform our community and viewers. Why? Well, a well-informed customer is a loyal one, and it doesn't matter to us whether the Scorpion Exotech or the Nolan N121 is the right flip over helmet for you. We simply want to guide you to the helmet that is best suited for your needs. We've got a total of 6 contenders in this video, all of which are close to each other in price and the top options available on the market right now. And in this video we're going to find out which one of them is the best flip over helmet of 2025. Let's get started. To judge the material of our flip over contenders, we follow our material matrix, and this matrix looks at two things: the material of the outer shell and the amount of outer shell sizes. And why do we look at shell sizes? Well, more shell sizes is beneficial, as this means you'll get a more compact fitting helmet across all available sizes. Let's look at the results. Here the carbon fiber helmets tie for first place. Aside from their carbon fiber shell, they all share an equal amount of outer shell sizes, which is 2. Right beneath them is the Exotech Evo Pro, earning half a star less than its carbon fiber relative, and the only helmet on this list to have more than 2 outer shell sizes, which is the HSA I100 with its 3 shell sizes. It could have placed even higher on this list, but it's hindered by its polycarbonate shell. Unfortunately, the Nolan N121 ends up at the bottom, and this helmet has a polycarbonate shell and only 2 shell sizes. That's it for material. Let's continue to weight. Now let's see how these flip over helmets performed on the scale. Our scale is accurate to the gram and all helmets are weighed in a size M without any additional features installed. We run the results through our weight matrix to determine star scores. Now let's look at the results. Of all of our contenders, the Boxer 2 Carbon was the lightest, but the Advent X and the Exotech Evo Carbon were not far behind. You'll notice how the rest of the list is a bit on the heavier side, which is especially true for the HSA I100, unfortunately coming in last place. Alright, to properly judge the visor of these helmets, we look at all kinds of properties to determine a score. Here we use a visor matrix that includes all kinds of visor features and characteristics. Naturally, not every visor feature is equally as impactful on your riding experience, which is why we've weighed them based on what riders ask us about the most. Every one of our contenders performed well here apart from the Boxer, but we'll get to that helmet in a second. The main reason as to why the LS2 and both Scorpions get 5 stars is because they come with an additional dark smoke visor in the box, and they're also equipped with the essential visor features like a pinlock lens that comes in the box, a wide field of vision, integrated sun visors and a decent visor mechanism. As for the Nolan N121 and the I100, they also come with the essential visor features that I just mentioned, but do not come alongside an extra dark smoke visor, therefore ending up below the top scorers. Now, for our sole bottom scorer with just a single star, the Boxer 2. Roof opted to only give this helmet really an anti-fog coating, and the field of vision isn't that great either, and neither is the visor mechanism. It doesn't have any other visor features, which is why it ends up with just 1 star. Now it's time to take these helmets out on the road and see to what extent they're able to isolate the outside noise. And to do so, we've placed a decibel meter inside the helmet close to the ear of our test rider. This device records the sound the same way as he hears it, and we take our measurements from the open highway riding an average of 130 km per hour. We run the results through our noise matrix to get star scores. Let's see the results. Our group of contenders performed similarly to one another, improving a little bit upon each other as we move higher on the list. It's unfortunate to see the N121, one of the newer helmets, end up at the bottom of the list. And you might be wondering if a 1 or 2 decibel difference really matters, and I can assure you that every single decibel is clearly audible out on the road. That's it for noise. Let's continue to ventilation. Okay, let's find out to what extent our contenders are able to keep your head cool out on the road. We measure this with a thermometer inside the helmet, measuring the inside temperature at all times. At the same time, we measure the outside temperature and compare the two. the lower the difference between the in and outside temperature, the more stars a helmet earns. Let's look at the results. Overall, our contenders had a strong showing as the Nolan bounces back and places among the top scorers in terms of ventilation. The i100 also placing at the very top once again, with the Boxer and the Advent X not far behind. Unfortunately, both the Scorpions end up at the bottom of the list. Both of these Exotech variants have the same but rather unique ventilation layout that has no real exhaust on the back of the helmet, making it a bit harder for warm air to leave the helmet, thus explaining their warmer measurements. Anyways, let's continue to comfort. The importance of this segment speaks for itself. A helmet can have the very best noise isolation and ventilation possible, but still not be the right choice if it doesn't feel comfortable on your head. So that's what we're about to address. However, this segment can present a challenge for us as it's difficult to measure comfort in concrete numbers like we've done in the other segments so far. Therefore, for this segment only, we'll be partially relying on our test rider who has also tested the other helmets on our channel and can therefore make a comparison like no other. We also take the comfort features of a helmet into account. Let's see the results. This list sees a three-way tie at the top with 3 helmets earning 4 stars each. Before I list their features and what got them ahead of the rest, it's important to know that all 6 of these contenders have removable, washable and antibacterial inner liners. With that said, our test rider enjoyed the fit of the top 3 slightly better than the rest due to the quality and layout of their inner liners. Naturally, the Scorpions are pretty much identical in terms of comfort, therefore earning the same score here. Then, slightly below the top scorers, the N121 earns 3.5 stars. This helmet has the longest list of comfort features out of any helmet, as it's got Nolan's patented eye rag roofs for riders that wear glasses. It's equipped with a chin curtain, and you can adjust the placement of the padding with Nolan's liner position control. However, it's also on the heavier side and it's not very aerodynamic, meaning that this helmet is going to put strain on your neck more so than some of the other contenders. As for the bottom scorers, their main flaw compared to the other contenders is the quality and amount of padding used on their inner liners. Both the i100 and the Boxer are rather basic in terms of comfort. That's it for comfort, let's continue to features. Alright, let's talk features. Here we judge the bells and whistles that our contenders are equipped with, and to do so we follow a features matrix that includes a wide range of features. Naturally, not every feature is equally as impactful on your riding experience, which is why they're weighted based on what riders ask us about the most. Let's see the results. In this segment, the N121 ends at the top of the list, and this helmet has speaker pockets and specific preparations for multiple Nolan communication systems. At the same time, these preparations shouldn't hinder you installing a universal system. It's glasses friendly, has a good finish, a good flip-up mechanism, and it's also got a very adjustable inner liner. However, it's missing out on aerodynamics in the form of wind tunnel testing and doesn't have any extra features to make your riding experience more convenient, therefore earning 3.5 stars. Then the Scorpions and the LS2 tie with each other once more. These helmets are pretty similar to one another, offering the essential features, much like the Nolan above them, but ending up with a slightly fewer stars because they don't offer the same level of padding adjustability. As for the helmets at the bottom, in terms of features, their list is the shortest and don't offer much beyond the very basics of having the latest safety certifications, a decent finish and speaker pockets for communication systems. So, we've ran through all of our tests. Let's briefly put the scores of our 6 contenders side by side to get a clear overview of their performances as we move to the final segments. For those interested in any of these contenders, this is the perfect time to pause and take note of their strengths and weaknesses. This overview makes one thing clear, and that is that the Roof Boxer 2 Carbon is not able to keep up with the other contenders in terms of performance. But what happens when we start weighing in the price? In this segment, helmets are going to earn a value for money score based on 2 factors. 1, the average amount of stars they've earned, and 2, the amount of euros you pay per star, which is based on their recommended retail price. If 2 helmets perform similarly to one another in terms of stars, but one helmet is much more budget friendly than the other, then the budget friendly helmet comes out ahead in our final ranking. Let's see the results. In first, we've got the LS2 Advent X Carbon. A solid performer that was among the top scorers in pretty much every single segment. It has the highest average star rating of any contender, therefore offering plenty of value. But what about the money part of the calculation? Because the Advent X Also, it's one of the more expensive helmets on this list. Well, value for money doesn't always have to favor the budget-friendly helmets. In this case, the Advent X performed well enough to make up for its slightly higher price tag. The i100 in second is an interesting result. While this helmet struggled at times to keep up with the rest, it's also the most budget-friendly helmet on this list and was competitive enough to still earn a solid value for money score. Then I want to point out the Boxer at the bottom of the list. This helmet is clearly designed with a different philosophy compared to the other helmets on this list. It's an iconic helmet series and at one point one of the most popular helmets worldwide, but in terms of performance and value for money, it simply can't compare to the contenders in this video. Now let's move on to the final ranking. We've got everything they need to find out which one of these contenders is the very best flip over helmet out right now. Let's start at the bottom in 6th place. Here we, kind of unsurprisingly, find the Roof Boxer 2 Carbon. This helmet is the single most expensive helmet on this list and wasn't able to perform well enough to make up for the price. It had highlight performances on material, weight and ventilation, but gets hindered by a 1-star finish for its visor, 2-star finish on noise isolation and another 2 stars for its features. Then in 5th place we've got the Nolan N121. A newer helmet with a decent amount of hype behind it. Unfortunately, it wasn't able to place higher than 5th. This helmet did have standout moments on visor and ventilation and it performed well in both comfort and features. However, it got outperformed by many of its competitors on weight, material and noise isolation, and this really hurts its average star rating compared to the rest of the list, ultimately ending up in 5th place. Now for 4th we've got the HSA i100. All things considered, this helmet is pretty impressive. Like we mentioned earlier, it's the most budget friendly, but was able to keep up with the rest well enough to place ahead of the previous helmets. It got great performances on visor and ventilation and had decent performances in the other segments. However, it is the heaviest helmet on this list, preventing it from placing higher. In 3rd and also in 2nd place we've got the 2 Scorpions placing right next to each other. The Exotech is a good and very popular helmet series, and while the Evo Pro released much later than its carbon fiber relative, it's still stuck behind its older brother in the rankings, mainly due to the fact that Scorpion was unable to keep the weight difference between them to a minimum. As the Evo Pro is one of the heaviest helmets on this list and the Exotech Evo Carbon is one of the lightest helmets on this list. Regardless, they earned a much higher star rating compared to most of their competitors. And that leaves one helmet for 1st place. The LS2 Advent X Carbon takes 1st place, and rightfully so. This helmet earned the highest star average of the list with a 5-star finish for its visor, much like the Scorpions, and impressive results on ventilation and comfort, also never earning less than 3 stars. This helmet is an impressive all-rounder and is sure to give you plenty of comfort and convenience on your rides. And that's it for the best flip over helmets of 2025. This helmet category has been getting very popular as of late, and hopefully this video gave you valuable insight into the options that are available right now. Every helmet mentioned in this video is available at championhelmets.com, where we offer the lowest price guarantee and very sharp discount bundles. Leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this in your feed. Buy smart and ride safe. Until next time.